Hello, fellow grave crawlers, and welcome to Paper Zombie Productions, home of the one, the original ZTV. I am Paper Zombie, your host with you as always, and it's good to see you all, and it's good to be back with you all. And today, we are doing ZTV games as part of our little celebration for our subscribers. Give me one moment, please. Sorry about that audio problem. That's what happens when you're live, right? So anyway, this is part of our 60 subscriber special, but by the time that I recorded this, 61 is where we were at. We already made it up to 62 by the time I made the one for 61. So for the 62nd person, please don't think that I missed you. I didn't do that on purpose. It's just that you showed up late to the party, okay? It's nothing personal. All right, but for those who do join, welcome aboard. And for those who don't, well, you guys will catch it later. That's what On Demand is for, right? Right. All right, so today, what we are getting into is 7 Days to Die. I don't know how many of you have heard of this game, but it's been out since about, I think about 2013. About then, but it's been in an alpha state. So I didn't find out about this game until last year, and I'm a very big survival horror player. And I knew nothing about this game until a friend turned me on to it. And from that moment forward, I never looked back. It's a really neat game. So pretty much the general gist of it is, just like it says, it's the survival horror crafting game. So pretty much what it is like it's like Minecraft on crack, for lack of a better term. Imagine that you took, pretty much it's a survival horror sandbox mixed in with we'll get into it as you'll see. So that's the first thing that we'll do, because trust me, with all this control, you'll soon lose your mind. So how you usually start is new game, or if you want to, you can actually host games so that other people can come and they can join them. And so that's where you would go to join game, and then there's a whole thing with that. Editing tools. Actually, this is where you can build worlds. This is one of the things that the game allows you to do. It either lets you take an existing world and build with it, or it lets you create your own randomly generated world, or it lets you take and create your world as you see fit. So that's what I mean about it being like sandbox. This is one of the sandbox elements. I meant to say sandbox open world. So the open world is because of the exploration. The sandbox element is because of little things like this that you see. All right, we're going to keep it going. In hopes that everything is going good with the stream. And so those are your editing tools, right? Now, let's see. So then your options. Here's your video option. Now here's where your interesting. All right, looking at this thing, making sure everything is good. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Just making sure everything is good with the stream. While you're live streaming, it's always trying to send you messages and stuff all late and after the fact. So anyways, getting back to the point. These are your video options. And this is where you choose your resolution, full screen, you know, all the basic stuff. This right here is a brand new option that they added with the most current alpha. Like I was saying before, this game has been in an alpha state, and it's been in an alpha state for all those years, and they're up to alpha 20 now. Now, the cool thing about it is that this group of people, they call themselves the fun pimps. And they're a neat little group of people who are just, you know, like average Joes who all got together and decided that they wanted to make this game. So they're completely independent. So they've actually been learning the engine that they're working with as they've been going. So they've been building their own assets, things of that nature, getting better with their programming and making sure that they can do everything that they can to provide good graphics, but also not something that's going to murder your machine whenever you try to use it. So this little option makes it so that once we get into the game, you'll see that you'll notice that things don't, the appearance of things. If you make changes to something, this is what controls that. If you make changes to something, if you walk away from it from the distance, you won't be able to see those changes. But once you get up on it, it'll load the changes. This allows you to go ahead and actually load those changes from a distance. And so this is your distance and everything with that. But be careful, it can murder your machine. So then here we are with audio, self-explanatory, controllers, self-explanatory, player profile. This is where you can change how you look. And then you have a whole bunch of pre-mades with their own look and everything. That's my look, so I went with that. And so here we go. Say we're getting ready to go ahead and start a new game. And then continue game is just where you would pick off from your old game at. So new game. And we will go ahead and we will start a new game for this just so you guys can see this. So we'll call this ZTV 60. All right, in our game world, we're going to choose Navigain. Navigain is the home world, usually the default world. So it's a good world so that you can see everything that the game has to offer on a pretty good level. So we'll go ahead and we'll start there. Our world size, that's a good size for a world for a single player. Now, here's where we start getting into control. So, general, this is for your server. So say for instance, you want it, and all this is self-explanatory. You put your little clicker, it'll tell you who should be able to see this server in the server browser. So this is for like when you go online, when you go into the join a game, this is how people will be able to see your game. If you're listed, they can see your game. If you're not listed, they can't see your game. This is where you will set your max players. And then that's your online stuff up here, strictly that. Down here is where you get into your difficulty settings. Now, as you can see right here, it'll tell you exactly what all your difficulty settings are. And step 1 is scavenger, easiest setting, designed for noobs. And don't let that be deterrent. Like, start on scavenger. If this is your first time that you're ever going to play this game, start on scavenger. Do not be afraid to start on scavenger and then work your way up as you learn how to play the game. Because other than that, man, like, you'll never, like, don't let starting on 1 get you, because at the very beginning, it's a lot to get for this game. So, I've got mine on Nomad because I played the game for a little bit. So I know my way around it a bit, and then that should be okay for the stream, because then that's going to give you guys a good little feel as to, you know, how the game operates and such. Zombies aren't too difficult, and pretty much what the difference is in difficulties, it determines how much damage the zombies do. So with level 1, you do more damage, zombies do less damage. On level 2, you still do more damage, zombies do more damage, but not equal to you. Nomad, you do 100% of your regular damage, zombies do 100% of their regular damage. Warrior, zombies do more damage, you do a little bit less damage. Survivalist, zombies do a lot more damage, you do even less damage. Insane, the zombies just whoop you. And you are at 50% for insane. So yeah. Your cycles, this is how long it takes for 24 hours to pass in the game. So pretty much, and this is in real time. So 120 minutes means that your days, the game is done in 24-hour cycles. So there's a day cycle and then there's a night cycle. And so if you want your day to night, and it's based off of 24 hours. So if you want the longest days, you will go with 120 minutes, which is what I normally go with when I'm playing solo. because I like to have the full amount of day and the full amount of night, because you'll find out why that is very soon. You could go all the way to 10-minute days. So essentially your whole day is 10 minutes. You'll get nothing done, trust me. We may use this in the stream just because there's something I would like to show you all. And so we'll do this to make time pass faster. But as for right now, show you guys some things into play. We'll do 120 minutes. Now this is your daylight length. Don't let this confuse you, because it will confuse many at the very beginning. This is how many hours the sun shines per day. So pretty much what daylight length is like I said, there's a day and a night cycle. This determines how long your daylight lasts. So if you were thinking in military time, which is the way that the game tells time, you'll see your days go all the way up to about 1800 hours. So from zero, wait a minute. Pretty much your pretty much this is supposed to be 18 hours out of the day. Out of the 24-hour cycle will be daylight. Then 16, 14, 12, and so on. So 12 is the lowest that you could get. 18 is the highest that you could get. Highest daytime length, shortest daytime length, but if your daytime is shorter, then your nighttime is longer. So if you want more nighttime, you will go for a lower daylight length. If you want it about balanced, somewhere in between these two. And then if you like more daylight, which you'll find out why, go with 18. Moving to basic, blood moon frequency. For right now, that's disabled, but I am going to enable that. But pretty much a blood moon is an event. This game is called 7 Days to Die. And the reason why this game is called 7 Days to Die is because by default, every 7 days, an event called a blood moon happens. And what that means is that when your nighttime hours come and it's at about 2200 on your clock, all of a sudden you will just get swarmed by mobs of zombies. And you have to survive this swarm, and they'll follow you wherever you go, and they'll find you wherever you go, because the game is built to do that. So you can run from them, but they'll still always find you. They're built to find you during this event. And this event lasts, your first event lasts till about 2 in the morning. Your traditional events last till about 4 in the morning. So that winds up being about 45 minutes real time if you have super long days. So that's why this is called 7 Days to Die, because 7 days before you die from the situation that's going on in this game, and then every 7 days you have a blood moon event. You can turn that off. You don't want blood moons? Turn that mess off right here. So this is blood moon frequency. So you have it disabled, blood moons never happen. But if you take in 1 day, this means a blood moon happens every single day, every single night. As soon as those hours roll around, bam, a blood moon happens. Now, the cool thing about this is that they don't swarm you if you have it on every night. It's just all of a sudden you'll get an influx of enemies in which you'll have to defend yourself for a certain period of time. And then it'll go ahead and it'll taper off and it'll end. But it gets more and more it gets longer and longer and stronger as each day passes, until finally you're like dealing with an onslaught every day. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. This game gives you that freedom. And you can choose 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, then the traditional 7 days. Or you could go beyond 7 days, up to 8 days, 9, 10, up to 14 days, 20 days, 30 days. So if you want to have it like a monthly event to where the blood moon only happens once a month, then you set it for 30 days, because this is actually 30 in-game days. Not 30 real days, but 30 in-game days. And so depending on how your time is set, that's going to determine how many days go by. So 30 in-game days will need to go by before you have a blood moon. However, Once you start going past 7, what happens is that your blood moons get stronger because you're not having them as often. So if you're having them too often, your blood moons are going to be weak. If you have them at 7 days, your blood moons will be normal. If you have them later than 7 days, then your blood moons will get stronger when you have them. So if you set that for 30 days, I can only imagine that you would probably just get raffle stomped. So right now, we're going to go ahead and set this for disable. We'll come back and change that. And then this is your blood moon range. So what this means is that this will tell you pretty much your range is that, say for instance, you set it for 1 day, but then you want to set a range to say that, oh, it could happen if you want to add some randomness to it. Oh, well, it could happen on day 1. It could happen on day 2. It could happen on day 3. It could happen on day 4. Hey, it could happen on day 5, day 6, day 7. Like it'll pick a random day in the amount of days that you leave for it to pick. So if you go over your days, of course, then it's just gonna stay at your limit. But this will make it so that you know that your blood moons usually happen 7 to 10 days. So somewhere in there's going to be a blood moon. So that's how that works for that. So that's just even more control. Your blood moon warning. This warns you for when you're going to have a blood moon. So if you set your time of day, pretty much once you hit 8 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden your day will turn red, which if you saw the cover for this, you'll notice that there's a red 7. The day turns red to let you know that you'll have a blood moon. You can set that for morning. You can disable it so that you just don't know. It'll still happen on the day that you have it selected, but the day just won't turn red. You can set it for evening so that it shows up more towards the evening hours. So you kind of have shorter notice, but you still get notice. Now, here's our zombies, because yes, there are zombies in this game. And pretty much the general story of the game is that it's something like World War III happened. There was a nuclear attack and you are a survivor from that nuclear attack in the world. And the world is, there's only certain places in the world that are still like intact and still good and everything, and haven't been like totally devastated by the radiation and all the war. And you play a survivor who is in one of these areas. And unfortunately, the radiation turned people into mutants and zombies. So those are going to be your competition, them and animals. So you get to control how fast your zombies are. So you could choose any kind of type of experience. Zombie speed is set in day and night. So pretty much if you want your zombies to be slow as hell, you want them to walk, which means that they won't walk as fast as you. Your walking speed is still going to be faster than them. They're very slow, like they're shamblers. They're George Romero zombies. You set them to walk. But say you want them to move faster than a walk, but still not as fast as your walk speed. You set them to jog. But say you want them to move a little bit faster. Say you want them to move at your walk speed. You set them to run. Now, say you really want some action, right? You want to go towards World War Z level. You want them to be able to run as fast as you. Switch that to sprint. Now, say you're absolutely freaking insane and you want them to be able to run faster than you. Set that mess to nightmare. So your night speed works the same way. Normally, the way that it's set up is that during the day, your zombies will walk, and this is the game's default settings. Normally, your zombies will walk during the day, and then at night, your zombies will either jog or run. Or if you don't have jog and run set that way, your zombies at night will run, and then your feral zombies will sprint. What a feral zombie is it's a regular zombie, but it's stronger. And its eyes are kind of like a golden color. And they'll tend to, since they're stronger, they put up more of a fight. So they are always distinguished by, that's supposed to be a thing to help you distinguish them even more than just the eyes, is that they move faster. So this is normally what they have it set at as the default. So we can set this up, like I said, if you want World War Z settings, you will go sprint, well, day speed. If you want it night, nice, you might go run. But you know, sprint, night speed, sprint, feral speed, sprint, you know, nightmare, you know. So you can set this up any way you want to. Me, what I usually like is to go ahead and set mine up to walk. And then at night, just to show you guys how it is a little, well, walk is boring, jog is not quite there, we'll let them run. And then the zombie feral speed, we'll let them sprint. So, and then zombie blood moon speed by default is always sprint. You can set that to nightmare if you want to, or you can set that all the way to walk. You want to have a blood moon to where the zombies walk in and they're like Romero zombies, but it's a truckload of them, and have them all walk, you can choose that option. So when we get there though, that might be what we do, just because it's just going to be one of me and I probably won't be equipped for it. But anyway, zombie feral sense. This is something that actually got added this newest alpha, which is the alpha 20. This increases the ability, zombie's ability to sense you, to detect you. And normally how it works is that a zombie, you kind of need to be in its line of sight for it to see you and notice you, and then it'll start going for you. If it doesn't see you, then you don't have to worry. What this turns off is that the zombie doesn't even need to see you. All you need to do is just be in the zombie's general vicinity, or the zombie just needs to be in your general vicinity, and it will sense you automatically and it'll come at you. So if you want something, this is also part of like the World War Z type of feel. If you want to go for something like that, go for that. And then you can set it for if you only want that to happen during the day. If you only want it to happen during the night, yeah. Or if you want it to happen all the damn time, like day and night. I'm not suicidal. We're turning that off. Persistent profiles, if you have this off, then this just means that if it's on, then it just means that you're stuck with one profile. You always have to be that profile. But if you have it off, you can choose as many different profiles as you want to. And profiles don't do anything. The only thing that it would do is just, it allows you to say, for instance, if a person had a character, but they messed up that spec. So they created another character and they wanted to be on that same online area that their other character was in. So then they could go ahead and they could create another character and bring a character into that world. Or you could do that offline too. If you wanted to create a second character that exists in your world and it's not your main character, you could do that. But characters will start at, low level. At level 1, I believe it is. So yeah, it'll be just like starting a new character. So that's that. XP multiplier. Pretty much this changes how much experience points you receive when you kill something. So if you really want to hate yourself, crank that mess down to 25. If you love yourself, put that mess to 300. So like you kill something and you level like a son of a gun. But be careful, because this game gets stronger and everything in it gets stronger as you level. So there's a minus to that as well. I usually keep my multiplier at 100. We'll keep it at 100% this time around for what we're doing. Just to keep things in, actually, you know what? We'll put it at 125 for this. This is block damage. So most of everything in this is built with blocks. This is where you can control how much damage you do as a player. So say for instance, you want to be He-Man. You only have to hit the block one time and it's probably just going to turn into dust. You really want to have to swing and swing and swing on something? 25%, bam. You can also do this with the zombies. This is known as the AI block damage and the AI blood moon block damage. Both control the, this one's for all the mobs in the blood moon. This is for anything that's outside the blood moon. You want Romero zombies that are relatively weak and can't break blocks, and so you know, gives you a better chance to fight against them, crank it down. They'll still stay strong when they fight you and everything else, but as far as blocks go, they're not going to hit them very hard. Or are you crazy and you want a zombie to literally be able to walk up and sneeze on a block and the block is just gone? Bam, 300%. That's how high up you could go. I usually keep it balanced. I can do 100%. The zombies do 100%. AI Blood Moon block damage, I usually keep mine at 100%. I'm not trying to give them any advantages. Loot abundance, this is the percentage of loot to spawn in containers and on zombies. So this controls how much loot you actually get when you loot something. So I'm gonna leave that at 100% for now. This controls how the loot respawn time. So after you loot something, this is how long it takes for that to respawn. And notice how it says if there are no other players around. This is a thing that you have to watch out for. You can disable that, of course, and that means that it won't respawn at all. So watch out for that. The quickest time that you can get for things to respawn is 5 days, or 7, or 10, 15, all the way up to 50. So I usually go with the traditional 5 days. Now, you will usually find loot in stores and houses and things of that nature. What this little thing means is that once you loot something, you cannot go back to that area for 5 days, or else or to that area where the loot is, or in that section where the loot is for 5 days, or else what happens is that the game will reset you, or the game will reset that loot. It'll reset that area. So even if it was on the 3rd day, you walked back, if you got close enough to that loot just reset it. So now it's going to take it 5 days again before it spawns. So that's something to watch out for. If you're that type of person who likes to drop things on death, choose this. I choose nothing because I'm not about that. But if you are, you can drop everything. You can drop only what's on your tool belt, only what's in your backpack, and you keep your tool belt, or you don't get to keep nothing. You die, it's gone. Whatever you had on you is gone. I do nothing. Drop on quit gives you the same options that we just went over for drop on death. Blood moon count. This is where you determine how many zombies spawn in at a time per wave. So you will always have 8 zombies per spawn. So you could crank this all the way down to 4 enemies if you want to. If you only want to be able to deal with 4 per wave, you know, to help get you started, don't be afraid to do that. Then once you get bold, you could go ahead and, as you can see, you can usually tell your defaults, because your defaults will usually be white, and then anything over that will usually change color to yellow. So the default is actually that you drop everything on death, and I kept it at that at first, but nah, it's a headache. So we'll stick with 8 enemies. Enemies spawning. This is where you turn on whether or not zombies even show up in the world. So you can do that. You can have a world where you can walk around and do everything that you need to do and not worry about zombies showing up at all. It's awesome. Be careful though, because how this works against you is that, let's say that there's also animals in here, and your animals are what you use to hunt, and you will turn off certain animals because they're considered hostile and they're considered enemies. So if you do that, you turn off certain animals. Now you still have other animals that will still spawn in because they don't spawn in hostile. But this turns off mountain lions, it turns off wolves, it turns off anything that's in that category. It turns all of them off so that they won't show off. So won't show off, so that they won't show up. So you just have to be careful with that. So that's on or off. I usually keep my enemy spawning on, of course. Airdrops. This is a neat little thing where there's an airplane that will show up and drop a supply crate near you. And of course you have to find your way to it, and hopefully there's some nice things in there for you. You can choose when that drops. Is it an everyday thing? Is it not at all? Is it 7 days or is it every 7 days? We're not going to be, I don't know if we're going to be able to play long enough for that many. We'll do an airdrop every day so that we're getting fresh supplies every day to help us out. Let's see what that setting is like. Cheat mode. This right here sets if creative mode and tools are allowed while you're playing. So essentially, if you have cheat mode on, you will be able to go into the creative menu or activate the cheats. I usually keep this on just in case something happens or I get stuck or something goes wrong. Other than that, I play the game regularly. And then mark airdrops. Airdrops will just show up and just fall down to the ground. If you don't have marked airdrops on, wherever they land at is where they land at. If you don't see them land, you'll never know they're there. So I always say mark your airdrops, but you can choose not to. We're going to choose to do it. And then this is all of our multiplayer stuff. This is where you can choose if on your server, if there will be player killing or not. You can choose no killing, kill allies only, kill strangers only, which are people who are not your friends, or kill everybody. Your claim size. You actually have a claim block and it's part of the game and it's part of, we'll get into that when we talk deeper about the game. But this is where you change the size of the blocks that your claim will protect. I always set mine at the max because I like to claim a lot of space and I like to protect a lot of space. This is your dead zone. So if you were online, this would be how close or how not close a person could make their own claim next to your property. Claim duration. This is how long you can be offline. Like I said, self-explanatory. How long you can be offline before your land claim expires. This is how long that takes. And then all the rest of this is just all for your online. Your bedroll though, you want to take and I usually like 30 blocks because your bedroll dead zone, this actually, as it says, bedrolls create an area where zombies do not respawn. Any cleared sleeper volumes that touch this area will not respawn after they've been cleared. This is good to have along with your claim block because then that's how you keep your area that you make your home free of zombies. Other than that, the punks will just be showing up all times a day. So don't have to worry about these 256 numbers. This is only for online stuff if you're doing PvP. It means that other players, it makes your brick strong versus other players. If it's not another player, if it's a zombie or an animal, this has no effect. So we won't be talking about that. Your bedroll duration. This is how long, if you're online, how long you have to be offline before your bedroll will just disappear. This is your party shared kill range. So if you guys are in a party, this is the range that you could set for how close you guys have to be to share experience. And you could go all the way up to that so that you guys could be pretty far away and share experience. So there's nobody here for this, so we're good. So other than that, those are all the options. That's a lot, isn't it? You haven't seen nothing yet. Why don't we jump into the game? Are you ready? Let's go. Here we are. Dear friend, the wasteland can be an unforgiving place. I found you naked and left for dead with no supplies. It looks like you crossed the Duke in a bad way, and you could use some help. Enclosed is a short guide to help you survive. If you complete it, we just might take in a new citizen, the White River Settlement. It's real and it's safe. Peace be with you, friend, Noah. Basic survival is your active quest. The quest status is displayed on the objective tracker in the top right corner of the screen. This tells you where all that is. I'm gonna tell you where all that is too anyway. Pretty much your quest objective tracker is the little thing that you saw over here. See, craft a bedroll, gather plant fiber. So this is our world. Pretty in it. All right, so pretty much this is how you start out, butt naked and alone and afraid. Like if I looked at my character right now, he's butt naked. He's alone and afraid. So yes, level 1. Bam. So the first thing that we need to do is gather plant fibers. How in the world do we gather some plant fibers? Well, you walk over to the ground. You do that. Ow. And that's how you gather plant fibers. Your grass. And as you can hear that noise, that means that you succeeded. And that's a hen. So that's one of the many animals that you'll see around here. And this little zone that we appeared in, this is considered the safety zone. When you first spawn in as a new player, you start in a safety zone so that zombies won't spawn as long as you stay in this safety zone. So that's where we're going to stay. Other than that, they're going to start spawning if we walk out of it. So this is what inventory looks like. Right now, we're going to go ahead and put all this in here. This is a claim block. That's the thing we were discussing. This is a note from the dude, pretty much just a friendly reminder that you pay on time every time or there will be consequences. Next time we won't be so nice. Thanks for the gear, but you still owe us. See you soon, the Duke. Now we still haven't gotten to meet this guy yet, even throughout this production, but I'm sure we will one day. But let me show you what I think about him. Taking up space in my inventory. Anyway, so what we need to do is we need to craft a bedroll. So hit tab. That's the quick button to take you into your inventory. See that yellow exclamation point? Click on that. We need to craft this. So you can either hit W or S when you're in this menu or just click on it. This is the bedroll we were talking about earlier. So we just made one of those. So if you want to place it, you put it into this is your tool belt down here. So, and this is your backpack area here. So this is what you would have dropped. This is what you drop on death if you choose a backpack. This is what you choose to drop on death if you do the tool belt, and everything that's in both of these. So, and that is our bedroll. Now the cool thing is that we could place it and let it do its thing, and then we could pick it back up. And we do not need this, so now we need to craft a stone axe. All the neat little things that you see are it telling us where rocks are at, so that we could craft our stone axe, and it's also telling you where you can get wood at, because right now we don't have an axe to go chop down a tree. So, you see these brown looking plants that don't look like the grass? Swing on them, and you get wood. That did not come out right at all. We're gonna pick up these rocks. And yes, this is roadkill out here in the beautiful, beautiful road. We'll be back to get that later. All right, we need another small stone. There's one. We don't want to walk too far out of our safety bubble here. Now we want to craft a stone axe, so hit tab again. Craft that bad boy. Let's bring this here. This stone axe is handy. It's not just going to be a weapon, but we're not going to use it for a weapon. This is what we're going to use to help us build things and then to help us upgrade things in the very beginning. You will find out what I'm talking about as we go. But for now, we're going to put that right there because that's also going to be our basic mining tool. And that's also going to be what we can use to chop down trees. So I usually like to put mine here. Now, it wants us to craft clothing because you can do that in this game. So we need more plant. And this is nitrate. This is an ore. And yes, if I do break out my axe, I can mine it. And that's what you see counting up over there in that corner, the experience, the rocks, and the nitrate. So yes, I actually can mine that right there. But the reason why I kind of don't want to do that right now is because we don't really need it right now. But this is what our mining tool is going to look like for now. Get back to our quest before the locals start showing up. All right, we got enough for that. Then you had to put these on. You just select them, hit W, select it, hit W. Bam. Now it wants us to craft a wooden club, but we got plenty of wood to do that already. So, hooray. This is our first weapon. Yes, it's caveman-esque, but guess what? It's going to work. So now it wants us to craft a bow and arrow. So let me see what we need for a primitive bow. Wood and plant fibers. So we got plenty of plant fiber. Actually, no, we need more plant fiber. And we need more wood. And then we need feathers. Which we always have plenty of feathers. Alright, so. Oh, and by the way, as you equip your guy, you'll see that they get clothes. What I like to do, and the game doesn't tell you this, of course, it just gets you the basics. I like to do this. Now these are called the plant fiber shirt. If I go here into crafting and type in, or all I have to do is click on this here and then go to recipes. It'll show me everything I can make with it. Since we're in the sun right now, let's make a plant fiber hat. If I were in the cold, I'd want to make a hood. Then how about we make some shoes? How about we make some gloves? So now, we got a whole uniform. And these other spots that are kind of empty right now, those are for eyewear, facial wear, and then overcoat, which we don't have one of those and we can't make one right now. This is for chest armor, leg armor, which we'll get later. All right, now I think I need to go get feathers. Where am feathers? To find feathers, we need to go find a nest. A nest should be around here somewhere. And don't be afraid to pick up rocks, even if it says you don't need them. And you can use your axe to break down stuff, turn it into resources. Those are scrap polymers, and those are used for pretty much, this is a crafting. That's the crafting element of it. Everything pretty much drops something that you'll use to make something with. Even this. So what we want to do is, I could continue to do that, or I could get more efficient at it. We take these bones, right?
that gave me bones, animal fat, and rotting flesh. We use all this to cook. Let's make us a bone knife. Actually, I need one more bone. Pretty much a bone knife allows you to gut things and get more for your work. So it's pretty cool. And we have a hen up there, but where? Actually, that's probably right where we should be going. Because where there's a hen, there's a nest. This is junk. You can search junk. You can get tools, or you can get items from that junk. That's clay, that's a cloth fragment, that's cobblestone rocks, all of which you will be using to craft things. Now I could go and try and chase that hen, but that hen is way faster than me at this point. And it will always see me coming. So I'm not very stealthy at this point. So what we want to do is go back by the tree and stay in our zone. We don't want to go too far away. And we want to find out where and we're picking up rocks while trying to find a nest. We need a nest, and you'll know it when you see it because it looks exactly like a nest. And this is cotton plant. Guess what? You can pick it up because you can make things with it. As you can see, we're getting pretty close to this house here. We still haven't found a darn nest, have we? Okay, nest. Why can't I find? Ah, there we go. Damn. Here's a nest. There's our bird feathers. All right, let's craft our bow. Let's craft our arrows. Now, some people swear by using this thing. I think it's a pain in the butt to try and use this thing, but it's there for people who like to use it. We'll put it that way. It does take some getting used to use it. All right, so now we need to gather wood because we're still not done with this. So rather than go that whole route, here's what we do. Told you this axe has got power. That's bound to get some attention, but anyway. And these are the different plants. There's goldenrod, that's chrysanthemum. Yes, you can pick them, and yes, you do need them. All right, and that's plenty of wood. This is a building block, frame shapes. These are wood blocks. So you craft them, they appear like this. You drop it into your inventory and select them, and they appear as a block. If you hit the R button while the block is out and hold it down, you'll notice shapes appear, materials appears, rotation, on face, advanced, and simple. This is just advanced rotation. This is simple rotation, shapes. We could stay here all day talking about how many different shapes there are in this game. There are a truckload of them. You want all this is for the building aspect. All this is for the building aspect. And there's pages and pages. So if you could think of a shape, it's probably here. Okay. All right, I thought we were being interrupted. Sorry about that. Thought we had guests. Anyway, back to what we were doing. We're gonna continue with this block. Bam. All right, and now you upgrade it. So what you do is you take out your trusty hammer, but you right click with your mouse instead of left clicking with it. and that's upgrading. And now we'll build a campfire. We've got plenty of rocks, and this is what you use to cook. Alrighty. So we're gonna take that, drop that down here, put it there. Bam. Cooking fire. Good job, Survivor. You have proved to be capable with much potential. We have marked your map with the nearest White River Outpost location. There you will find a trader where you can buy and sell goods and trade stories with one of our friendly citizens. Welcome aboard, Noah. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. I'm taking back all my rocks. I'll get back 3. And I'm taking back all my wood. Other than that, it's just gonna get left out here. There we go. All right, and as you can see up at the top, you see day 1 in the center. It's right below the compass, which is right in the center. Day 1, and then you can see the time ticking down. So it is 9:55 in the morning. As you can see, time ticks pretty quick. So yeah, it's not real time. I believe at 1:20, I believe 1 hour, it takes 7 minutes and 30 seconds for a in-game hour to go by. So we have a quest to do. We hit M for map, or you could just hit this up here for quests, and it'll show you everything you have. Now, everything that has a check is all the stuff we already went through. So if you get lost on your quests, all you have to do is just hit that and it'll pop up. So we need to go here. I am here. So I have to walk all the way over there. And when I say walk, I mean walk. So you ready? Let's do it. So over in the corner to your left, bottom, you will see 2 bars, a blue one and a red one. The red one is your health, obviously. You get 100 of that. The blue one is your stamina. That's what you use when you swing things, including your weapon, or even when you take aim. So keep that in mind. And then let's loot. Ooh, nice. And that's what you'll do in this. You will definitely be doing this. So what we got out of that is, this is a football helmet. Now, this is light armor. This is better than that little flimsy plant hat that we got on. So we're gonna put this on, and this will be our first piece of armor. This, we're gonna use this for cooking. This is a cooking pot. This is an oak seed, which I got for chopping down that plant. I can plant these and grow another tree if I want to, and we'll be doing that later. So you definitely always want to take the time, if you can, to search this stuff, because this is where you come up on loot at. This car right here, you can dismantle this car once you get the stuff for it. So we've cleared out all that. We're walking away with motor oil, which we'll use later. Here's this house, which we're gonna check the mailbox. Ah! Here is a book. Check mailboxes. Mailboxes are always known to have spear hunter books in them. This is actually one of the things that you get in the game. They're books that teach you techniques with all the different weapons, and even some of your abilities. This is for spears, so you can make spears. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about making a spear right now. So this book gives me the ability of punctured lungs. If this technique doesn't puncture their lungs, it will certainly knock the wind out of them. Thrown spears that hit the body have a 50% chance to slow the target for 8 seconds. So if I use that, I learn that ability. And that ability goes over here in my little knowledge area. We haven't even started talking about all of this. These are your perks. And these are the perk books. And this is all the books. So yeah, this can be overwhelming in the very beginning. So we'll just go over it slowly. So first thing we need to do is make it to that, which you can see that over there is where we need to go. We'll pick up things as we go. And we'll keep it moving for now. Now, as you can see, my stamina is going down. Some say it's not worth it to pick up this stuff, but I like to pick the stuff up because I don't know if I'm ever going to come back this way. And it's nice to start out with a little stockpile, but hold on. Because as you can see, that little icon down there says 6, and it shows a person looks like they are having a hard time carrying things. You can't see it on here, but there are certain slots. We would have to put this onto a different background here. Nah, it's not going to show me. But there are certain slots that are called encumbered slots. So these are slots that I can use, but as I use them, it's going to start to encumber me all the way up to the point to where I'm walking this slow. So we want to watch out for that. So we want to pick up things, but we don't want to pick up too many things. Ah, another book. This is Needle and Thread. This teaches us how to make footwear. Everyone needs shoes. Learn to craft a variety of good-looking and versatile footwear in this easy-to-follow guide. Let's use it. Now let's type in shoes. So from that, I learned how to make dress shoes, and I learned how to make running shoes. If I had leather in a sewing kit and a few more scrap polymers, I can make some running shoes, which would help with my stamina when I ran. I don't watch my stamina here. So we could try and work towards that. Even though I probably won't make any running shoes. And for right now, remember how I said I wanted to make that spear? Just type it in. And bam, we can already make one. I'm gonna make about 3 of them. Now the cool thing about clubs is that clubs hit hard. However, clubs take a lot of stamina to swing because they're powerful weapons. They don't take the most stamina, but they take a nice amount of stamina. So you get about 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are just regular hits. So you'll often find zombies don't go down in a whole lot of regular hits, but we'll swoop between the 2 weapons so that we can get a look at both of them. Hold on. We got visitors. We'll let her go about her business. She's not bothering us. And you check nests because you're hoping for eggs. I don't really use the feathers to make arrows until I can make a crossbow. But you have to have talents to make a crossbow, unless you find the plants. There's a rabbit. I'm gonna make that bone knife now. I'm gonna put that down there. And that rabbit has already seen me, so there's no point in even chasing him. But money is actually moving kind of slow. Nah. Now, I know you're saying take out your bow and arrow and shoot him. Yeah, that's a whole lot easier said than done. Like I said, you kind of got to know what you're doing with arrows. And I see our first victim. I like hitting tree stumps because tree stumps sometimes have a chance to have honey in them. Honey is a natural antibiotic. And it will save you from infection, which you don't want to mess with, which you'll get from dealing with zombies. Speaking of zombies, and he has seen us. So see, this is what their walk speed is like. Line him up. And while they're down, club him. So as you can see, he takes many hits. And that was just one zombie. Now imagine if there were many with him. So yeah, you have to watch your stamina in this because you will run out. These are all the big pretty buildings. I know it looks like I'm ignoring them all now, but I'm trying to get to the vendors because vendors close after a certain point. And then we won't be able to finish this quest. Okay. Making sure we don't have friends. Meanwhile, I'm just encumbering myself more and more, but I can't stop picking stuff up. Who? See, he will get faster. See how fast I ran out of stamina? Now I gotta line this guy up and... So yeah, clubs are strong, but you will run out of stamina. So that was with a club. Now, the first thing you're gonna say is, why do you have 3? You will find out soon enough. I like spears because spears do not take up a whole lot of stamina when you stab with them. And they have range. See, you get more resources. Now, let's see if we can hunt Peter Cottontail here. Alright, he got too far out of range. Nah, he got too far out of range. I needed him to stay in closer range. But yes, you can throw spears. Yes, zombies can jump. I don't have quite the range I thought I had. But we can fix that later on with perks. Because every weapon has a perk. I'm gonna let him go about his business. Actually, no, I want to show you all the difference. See that other zombie in the background? See, now it's taking me more hits. But look at the range I've got on this guy. And they will speed up when they go into their little rage mode. And I still walked out with a good amount of stamina. Even though I had to take more swings, those swings take less stamina. So you get more of them in. Check these mailboxes. Ah, here's archery. Arrow recover. Learn this trick to safely remove 20% more arrows and bolts from your target. Yes, when you shoot a target, your arrow sticks in them just like my spear does. So you can get your stuff back. Here's another one. From this one, we learn exploding arrows. Not quite a rocket launcher, but it will do. Craft exploding arrows and crossbow bolts. Thank you. And Spear Hunter. For our spears, we have now learned Deadly Combo. Hits with spears scored in quick succession do 10% more damage per hit up to 30%. Well, now this makes poking a whole lot more efficient now, doesn't it? All right, so we need to go this way. So here's a car. Unfortunately, I cannot start this, but this is a car I can loot. Let's see what we get here. Oh, cool, duct tape. And I can actually break down this car, but I lack the ability to do so right now. So we're gonna save talking about perks once we get to the trader. And that's how your character lets you know that they're running out of stamina. You'll hear them go out of breath. Now you can still run and do your thing, but that's just their warning. Zombie. And this right here, that's metal ore. We'll be using that later. And as long as I stay out of her line of sight, she won't bother me. But if we have Pharaoh sense on, because I'm this close to her, she'd be able to sense me automatically. And she'd be on her way over. But say we don't even want to bother with her, right? Take a rock. Equip it. Set it up. Throw that bug. Now watch her. All right, or not. Throw it in her range. Huh. Used to be. Huh. You can't distract zombies anymore. Ah. They took that out. You used to be able to throw a rock. And say, for instance, I threw a rock over here. She would have took off after that rock. Wow, they took out the ability to distract zombies. That must have been with this update. I guess they figured nobody was using it, huh? Hi, sweetheart. Now, unfortunately, you don't get life bars on these guys. You just have to keep hitting them, and you can kind of tell by sound if they're going down or not. All right, buddy, I know. I hear zombies. We're gonna let him be because he's a little bit stronger than the other zombies. And we really don't need to mess with him. He will touch us in ways we don't exactly need to be touched in. Should I get all this? Well, I don't have any recipes at this point in time. Uh-oh. As you can see, we're starting to get more zombies. I just can't pass this up. Really? How close do I have to be to hit this guy? Wow. Now I have to be careful because throwing javelins takes a whole lot of stamina. No, buddy. Stay down. He will rest now. Alright, so I just do not have that range on my javelins like I thought I did. Yeah, we're supposed to be going to the vendor, not fighting zombies. We're gonna let him mind his own business. Meanwhile, I'm gonna see if I can get with this hen. Nah, he's too far away now. Alright. Forget you, you punk. The funny thing that I've done with hens is I've actually run up on a hen like this and stabbed it to death. Because hens, you can catch. Just not right now. We got other things to do. We'll worry about running after chickens later. Zombie. Over here feeling his Air Jordan-ness. Check that out. Conflict incoming. Really? I didn't miss you that time. I didn't miss you that time. Or that time. Or that time. Now I'm out of stamina. You better not be running. Die. Alright, let's see what loot we got here. Oh wow, okay. That'll work. An empty jar, a flashlight. Now this is all stuff that I totally need. But carrying all this stuff is starting to encumber me. See how slow I'm moving now? Let's see if we can get some knowledge from here. Ah, more spear hunter. We don't need that for right now, and it's just taking up space. So what we're going to do is keep on moving so we can get to this vendor. We're gonna let him wiggle and shake by himself. Ah, you guys see the dog? There was a zombie dog over there too. We don't want to have to deal with those guys right now. We'll take that. Alright, let's cross over here. We don't necessarily have to stay on the path. It's a good idea that we do, but at this point in time, with all the walking that we have to do, someone's here. There you are. I thought I heard you. And we have found our way to the vendor. Now we need to walk around to the front because, see, all of these are spike traps. We touch these, we get hurt. Now on the plus side, if zombies touch these, they get hurt. So we're gonna run right in here. Close that door there. we're gonna go up here and meet the very first vendor. And there are vendors all over the place. So this isn't, see how he's down there making that sound? Because he's dumb and he got stuck. So he will be dead by the time we come back. Please excuse the zombies, they just know I'm here. They cannot make it inside because I did not leave the front door open.
I got just the thing for what's ailing you.
Hey there, buddy. And then you just walk up to the vendor, you talk to him, and then here's what you normally do. You say, may I see your inventory? You ask them if they have any jobs, or never mind. Jobs, this is how you get quests. And like, if you want to go through this and you want to like jobs, here's what you'll get. This is how you get experience. This is one way to get experience. It's also a good way to get quest rewards. And then the places that they send you are of course buildings, and all your buildings have loot in them. I haven't been in one yet, but you guys will get to see. So this is where all your where all of that will come from. Buried supplies is the only one that doesn't send you into someplace. It sends you out someplace and it has you dig instead. And then you'll take and you'll dig for the buried supplies. The bad news is that usually while you're in the process of digging, zombies will show up. And when you finish and you open the box, a whole mob of zombies will show up. So yeah. So we're not quite, actually we are ready for a job, and we will do clear zombies. So we'll take this to start.
Can you help me with my problem? No matter what, I'm grateful for everything.
And then to shop for him or shop with him, we look at the inventory. Now, right now I have 5. That's all I have to my name. I can't even buy a can of Who hash right now. So, and there's some things you can't sell that have no sell price. Then there's some things that you can. Now,
if we ain't got what you're looking for, we can get it.
Cool thing is that you can look at these shelves and you can take stuff off the shelves. Now I'm gonna save this for when we could come back and when I've actually got some inventory space. Because what I need to go do now is figure out where I'm going to set up a base at. So, and I may have to go ahead and use some of our creative powers to go ahead and do that because, well, let's just say that trying to run around here on foot is going to get really old really fast for you guys. So, I'm not going to make you suffer for that. All right, books. You guys got any books for me to learn? No, you just have paper. I do not want any paper. All right, so I already know where this guy is, and I have played on this map before, so I do know where I'm at. The zombie is really feeling himself a little too much. All right, one of the neat things that they bought into this is because, of course, I'm pretty sure you're seeing all of these basic items. But first, before we go into that, we'll talk about skills. I said we would get here and we would talk about them. Pretty much, each thing is broken into attributes. Okay. Just making sure the zombies are just not getting in here. So, your attributes are broken down into perception, strength, fortitude, agility, intellect, and then here's your little perk books that you pick up that you see me pick up. Intellect. Do you like to build? Are you the type of person who likes to build things? This is going to be the tree for you. Each tree has different sections. You have a combat perk, as you can see, and then this one might be different for each one. The center perk. This one is general perception perks. This one is general strength perks. This one is general survivor perks, general athletics perks, and then general influence perks. That's what happens with intellect, because it doesn't have general intellectual perks, it has influence. So the reason why I started with this one first is because this zombie is really losing his mind in the background. I may have to go put him out of his misery so we can conduct this in peace. you know what, he'll die eventually. Again, anyway, usually when you're playing solo or even when you're playing together, you're gonna be creating all of your stuff. So if you like to build, this is gonna be the tree that you start in. Electrocutioner, these are the combat perks. I would say do not invest in these until you get later, way later into the game, only because the weapons that you get from this, they're not easy mode weapons. They kind of require you to have some know-how before you just jump into them. So this is not the beginner friendly tree as far as fighting goes. But your perks that are in here is better barter. This gives you a better deal when you shop at the barters. So this means that it will give you a 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%, and 25% better deal. This is good to have because this brings your prices down when you are dealing with the barter, but then also when you sell, you get that as an increase. So everything costs you 25% less and you get 25% more when you sell it to a vendor. It's real cool to have. So during adventure, if you like going on quests, this one's for you. This is the one that makes sure that you get an additional choice for, because at the end of doing your quest, you get rewards and you get a choice. But normally your choices might be limited between like 3 things, so there's really no choice. But what happens is that when you get this, it'll give you, instead of having 3 choices, you get 4 choices. This one gives you 5 choices. This one gives you 6 choices. This one allows you, it stops at 6 choices, but you get to choose 2 things instead of just taking 1 reward away. So it is worth getting, especially because you also get money, which are called dukes, for completing quests. And this changes how much dukes you get when you complete quests. So when you start completing those good high level quests, it's good for dukes. So those are what you're going to use for that. Charismatic nature is more for something that you want to do when you go online. This does not help you personally, and it tells you. You are an inspiration to your allies, increasing their combat prowess. So if this does not work on you, it will only work on allies if you have them. But it is a neat little thing if you do have them, because when you're near allies, you give them 20 health and stamina. Then when you keep going up, their block and melee damage is increased by 20%. Then they take 10% less damage on top of all the other stuff and take half damage from bleeding and stop bleeding twice as fast. Then when you get when you come in range with a person at this point, you actually increase all their attributes, which is this. You increase each of their attributes by 1. So automatically, just from being around you, you increase their attributes. It's awesome. So that's if you're gonna have people around though, and that's if you feel like investing that. So that's that. Craftsmanship perks. This is where you're going to be going for your crafting. So since this is a solo game, we're definitely going to have to be leaning towards crafting, because we're going to be crafting all of our own stuff. Now, on that note, these are your crafting tables. Like this is your chem bench. That's your workbench. This is your cement mixer. This is your forge. And I believe that's everything. So those are all the basic things. Those are all the things that you're going to be able to make if you go into this perk right here, advanced engineering. Unfortunately, physician is required to learn how to make, I have no idea why, in order to make chemistry stations. You only have to put in 1 point, but you still have to put in a point for it. It's either that or you can find the perk for it. I mean the book for it, and then you can just make one. Grease monkey, are you tired of walking around all the darn time? This will actually allow you to make vehicles, from a bicycle to a mini bike to a motorcycle to a 4x4 all the way up to making a gyrocopter. It's really cool. So this is your transportation. This is your, so pretty much this is why I said this is the tree you're going to wind up starting with. But you don't have to start with that tree. You can start with any tree you want to. The only other tree of note, this is more of a battle tree. Athletics is like more of a battle tree. It's also the tree you're going to take if you want to go into archery. So we probably won't be getting into that right now, but this is more of your battle tree. This helps archery, gunslinging. There's nothing of value that you will be taking from the very beginning from here. Then we have things like this. Fortitude. Fortitude is actually pretty good in that Fortitude gives you survival perks. The Huntsman, this changes how much meat and stuff that you get back from when you kill animals. This is really good to help you stay fed. Well insulated. This actually helps you. When we move into different areas, it's different temperatures. So you have to be careful because you have some areas that are hot, some areas that are cold, and then you have some areas that are, normal. This perk right here allows you to, when you level it up, allows you to pretty much traverse those different areas and you don't have to worry about the clothing that you have on. So it's not necessary, but neat. Living off the land. This is going to help you for food. This is something that it was always in the game, but they've reworked the way that it works. So now if you want to grow your own crops, you need to have this right here. Pain tolerance. This is good for fighting, like I said. Healing factor is a good perk to have like towards the end when you're building up your fighting prowess. Iron gut. Let me see something real fast. Iron gut is actually something that you want to use. Iron gut is actually something that you're going to want to put into action. All this does is you can get candies and things of that nature, and when you get them, they actually give you a little boost in your ability for a little bit. And they would be they're actually neat little candies to have and stuff. This will determine how long those buffs last. It also determines how long your food and water meter lasts, because that's what these two things are here and here. This blue one is your water. This green one is your food. This purple one up here is the experience that you get before you level. These move. So as you can see, my character right now is thirsty. So that means I need to get him some water. Eventually he's going to become hungry and I'm gonna have to get him some food. You can starve to death and you can die of thirst. So those are part of your survival elements for the game. So that's what Iron Gut helps you with. It means that you don't get hungry as fast and you don't get as thirsty as fast. Your buffs last longer and you can hold your breath longer. Your chance of dysentery, that's something that's not really big in the game anymore. It used to be back in the day from eating canned foods, is that you had a chance to get dysentery. And then if you drink the water in this game without boiling it first, you'll get dysentery. So that's all you have to do that. Rule 1 cardio just helps you with running. That's something that you would use at the end if you want, just to help you with stamina. It's not something that you would take now. Strength. This is if you want to use the club weapons. This is real good, and shotguns. Sexual Tyrannosaurus. This helps with stamina. So you saw how I was swinging weapons and stuff like that, and then when I was swinging my axe, this helps with that and makes it so that it takes less stamina for you to do that. This is for sledgehammers. We haven't seen one of those yet, but they're the clubs, just bigger. They take longer to swing and they take a whole lot of stamina to swing. So yeah. And then this right here is how you build clubs and baseball bats. So this is heavy armor, so you could get the perk for wearing heavy armor. It doesn't make your heavy armor stop more damage. What it does is it takes your movement penalty, your movement and stamina penalty, that because your movement penalty, because you got heavy armor on, then it costs you more stamina to run with that on. So your movement and stamina get penalized by having heavier armor. So there's heavy armor and then there's light armor in the game, and then there's no armor. But heavy armor takes the most. So that's the one you want to be careful with. That's all that this does right here for you. It doesn't increase how much damage you take. This right here decreases how much damage you take. It's pain tolerance by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's why I said this is good to take when you're like rounding out your battle spec, because you will need that. All right, so yeah, we talked about pack mule. This is for if you want to get rid of all this encumberment that we've got going on right now. So this means that you can carry 3 more items without being encumbered. So that means on your inventory, you get 3 more spaces. It doesn't give you 3 more spaces. It just means that it removes 3 spaces of encumberment, all the way up to removing all your spaces of encumberment. Now you can take this, but you can actually make things that you can put on your armor that will take away those encumberment slots. So technically you might as well just wait until you can make them. Master Chef, this is all your cooking stuff. This is what all your recipes are under. It's either that or learn them, like how I've been picking up books. You can pick up recipes like that too. So this will be one we'll be looking into because we're going to be cooking for ourselves. Mining, you need ore to make a lot of the stuff that we're going to be making. Motherlode determines how much of that ore you get, and also when it comes to wood or anything of that nature, this determines how much damage you actually do per swing. Now you would think that doing a whole lot of damage per swing is not a big thing if you're mining, but trust me, after a while, swinging 3 times takes less stamina than having to swing 5 times, which takes more stamina. So that's how this works. Perception is for my sticks that you see me walking around stabbing people with, sniper rifles, which we haven't come across yet, and demolitions experts. I don't see a whole lot of people play with this style, but this is where you make grenades and things of that nature, and rocket launchers. So grenades usually tend to destroy everything around them, including zombies. But so that's why this one's a little bit different. Lock picking. Yep, there's locks in this game and you can pick them. Infiltrator. This is more for when you're online because nothing around, like this is useful, but there's a perk that you can get. There's a book that you can get that makes it so that you can walk over landmines and not trigger them. So there's no point in wasting this. This is more for if you're gonna go online and you're gonna PvP. But this is Infiltrator. Animal Tracker is a worthless talent. It says it helps you find animals. It does, but you have to go through some convoluted things to get it to work. It's not worth wasting the points. Penetrator. This one actually allows your firearms and archery to ignore 20% of the armor. As you can see, it gives armor reduction, and it just keeps going up from there, with eventually giving your sniper style weapons, your hunting, lever action, and sniper rifles the ability to penetrate additional targets or blocks. That's cool, but that means that once it goes through the enemy, like if you shoot through 2 enemies, you can get to the point where you'll shoot through 2 enemies and a block. So you'll kind of start doing damage if you're doing this in your base, and you may not want to do that. So just be careful with this talent. Lucky Looter. When we go out and we go looting, this is where we change our loot bonus. So this means that we get better loot and we can loot it faster, all the way up to getting 25% better loot and looting 80% faster. Treasure Hunter. This is kind of pointless to me. For every 5 blocks dug up, the treasure search radius is reduced by 1, by 20% more items and buried treasure. This is if you want to do a lot of buried treasure quests. This will help you get more treasure in your boxes. I've never used it. I don't do a whole lot of treasure quests. I prefer to go out and kill things, but To each his own. If you like it, here's the points for you. Salvage ops. This is how you dismantle cars and items and everything else. You take this little talent right here, which unlocks wrench crafting so that you can make wrenches. And you keep going with this because the more you have in this, the better quality tools you can make. And yeah, this is how you get to that. So since we're just getting started, and we've got a whole lot to do, and it's already 1740, and I'm pretty sure I've attracted every single freaking zombie around here. Let's go ahead and get into the creative aspect of things. So give me just one moment and we'll jump into that. Alrighty. So our creative menu is accessed by going in here. Now see, this is just by having cheats on, this is the creative menu. And you got to that by hitting tab and going to the little light bulb here. This is every block in the game. This is every item in the game, everything that I could ever want, or everything that you could ever want to build, to create, including all the stuff that the vendors sell. Like, it's all here. It's all at your disposal. So if you want to approach this from a completely creative standpoint, and all you want to do is just create stuff, here's what you do. You just click on that, and now we can go build whatever we want to build, however we want to build it. And there's no penalty for that. The game allows you to do it, and the zombies don't get mad at you for it. So that's what your creative menu would look like. And then if you hit F1 and you hit DM, this turns on the debug menu. Now, if after doing that you hit Q, that turns on God mode. That allows me to fly. I could have just hit hover at any point, or H at any point, and I also could have been able to fly as long as you have cheat mode on. But God mode allows me to go through the world, up, down, left, right, whatever I want to do. Like, I could go through this right now and it'll do nothing to me. See, it's not even there. Down through the world, up through the world, everything. So yeah, you can play the game completely like this. The zombies won't get mad at you. That's all it is to it. So, like I said, this game lets you do whatever you want. So, like I said, we're gonna do a little bit of looking around here. Here's where our trader is. So as you can see, these are all, that's another biome over here. This is another area. This is the burnt forest and the wastelands. Now everything is separated because if you go into a different area, the different biomes as they call them, it increases your chance for loot, but it also increases the type of loot you get, but it also increases the strength of the zombies and the enemies that you fight. So trust me, you don't want that. Not if you're not ready for it, but once you're ready to level and such, then we can go ahead and move off that way. So as you can see, I would have had to go all through this to find some place to go. And they put us way the heck down here. And as you can see, one of the locations, one of the new locations that they added for this alpha is a movie theater. Outside drive-in, remember these? I miss drive-ins. I miss movies. Quit going to them when they started causing as much to go to Disneyland to go to a damn movie. But what are we doing now? We are going to find a home. So I know I'm going far away from that vendor. And as you can see, there's little houses right here and everything. I'm going away from that vendor because I have my own spot that I want to go to. My own spot that I have set up where I know where everything is, and we don't have to go through the trouble of having to run all the flipping way back this way to do our business. But normally you do start with your you usually want to stay close to your vendor, so we're going to keep that in mind, and where I'm going is going to put us close to a vendor. Actually, we're going to be a little bit ways away, but it'll put us close enough to a vendor, but far enough away from the cities so that we don't get visitors. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is this biome. As you can see the snow over there. That's the snow biome. That's the level 3 area. This is the level 1 area that we're in right now. Level 2 is the desert, which is back that away. And then also back that away is the wastelands, which we saw earlier. We're not going to the wastelands right now. I'll get whacked. Can't have that. We just got started. All these places, I know we're not seeing much of anything right now, only because on that first day, you usually come in and this is exactly what you see me do. What you've seen me do is exactly what you would do. You would spend that your entire first day coming in, going, making it to the vendor, and then once you get to the vendor, you would pretty much be establishing your own little hut right next to him, and then probably camping out there for a short while and hoping that you can survive. These are all the neighborhoods, farmhouses, which have nice, pretty crops that we're going to go and we're going to raid a little bit later. I know I'm using the ability for flight right now, but this is what I would have had to cover on foot. So when I say like this game is big and it's about survival, I mean that. And this is a small map. So, and this right here is a spot that I have always claimed as mine. I like this house. Right here by the snow. And it's between two vendors. However, we do have a problem. Occupants. Knock knock. I know you're here. You're always here. No zombie this time around? I'm appalled. All right, so here's what we're going to do. This is now going to become our house. Looks pretty junky, doesn't it? How in the world are we gonna fix this place up? Well, let me show you. All that stuff we learned earlier, let's put it to use. First, let's get rid of all of this. And see how it says this item needs repair? If you click on an item, it'll usually tell you on the book, repair with small stone. That's why it's picking up all those stones. Repair this bad boy, we got more. Now, the first thing we really want to do is just clear this stuff out so that we can at least build a wall. We want a solid wall here. So we'll come back and we'll clear all this up later. But right now what we want are wood frames. So we want our wood shapes, which we have wood to make. Go ahead and let's make ourselves 50. I can only make 18, so that's what we'll be doing. Actually, stop that. I want frame shapes. I always make that mistake. I want frame shapes, not wood shapes, frame shapes. See, that's why we can make a lot more. We want the frame shapes. And we'll scrap those, turn those back into wood. All right, so with our frame shapes, let's build. You guys can hear the crickets and stuff because it's starting to turn into night. And please believe we probably will have some guests. So that's why we got to get the place all fixed up. That really sucked to learn that rocks don't do the same thing that they used to do anymore. I'm disappointed by this. You can't distract zombies with rocks anymore. It's so disappointing. Okay, you need to go. That's why I was pounding on you to begin with. Cheeseman 102, welcome to the stream, man. Yes, indeed, it has been quite some time, hasn't it? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let's make sure we got this right. How's it been going with you? Welcome to the subscriber special. And whenever you see purple, purple means that if I place it, it'll collapse. As stated, we don't want that. Now, something about this game. Oh, right on. Good to hear. I'm glad you swung by. Alright, we're gonna pound all this down. Hopefully I won't run out of stamina in the process. And as you can see, this is adding up to like rocks and sand. This is all stuff I'm gonna be able to use to make stuff. Now remember when I talked about upgrades? Right click it. Upgrade. Upgrade. Upgrade, and instead of killing that, we'll just upgrade it. I'm out of wood. All right, we can go remedy that, although it might draw attention. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Were you able to get over it and everything? All right, let's repair it. Oh man, I'm sorry that you got that mess, but I'm glad to hear that that's all you felt from it. Making sure we didn't have any friends. I thought I heard them. No. Okay, cool. That's good to hear. I'm glad that that's all you felt from it. We do have a visitor. There they are. I told you I was gonna attract attention with that. Oh, let's turn off that God mode. I only needed that because I was flying. But now I'm encumbered. Now you see how much slower I'm moving. Girl, I will stab you to death. Okay, where's her friend at? We're gonna let him go because guess what? I'm encumbered and we can't have this in combat. So here's what we're going to do. We've got our wall built, so we've got the basic stuff together. Let's get this taken care of first. Yep. Yeah, sometimes the zombies are smart. Sometimes they're they can shock you by how incredibly dumb they can be too. Yep. He might have been dealing with a Horde night. That's where just a whole bunch of zombies just descend upon you. We're gonna make ourselves a chest. Oh yeah. Trust me, you'll be doing a whole lot of double tapping in this. And as you can see, we've still got a friend out here somewhere. But I need to not be encumbered anymore. So since this is going to be our house, put all of our little, ooh, we got 5 dukes. That'll work. Let's get rid of all this stuff. I can just scrap that. I don't even need that anymore. This is for our cooking, so we'll use that in a minute. This I can just throw that. I can throw those too, but never mind. We just want to get rid of all this stuff for now. Rearrange. Okay. So let's continue with this house because, yeah. And it is going to get dark in here. So, board these windows up. Right on. I need wood. And it's getting darker. Getting darker. And there's droolers out there. Oh yes. That's one of the awesome things about this is that you can build a house as big as you want to. Rabbit didn't even know I was here. If only I would have had a better weapon. We could have had some hair tonight. We could have had rabbit dinner. Hey. My friend. Gotcha. Little closer. Little closer. All right. We always want to keep our area secure. Trust me, we will get violators. All right, so we need to get wood. So, this is what you're going to be spending a whole lot of time doing. Remember how I said it's a survival horror game? This is the survival aspect of it. Oh yeah, well, you know what, man? I'm actually doing this in a much louder way than I could do this. I'm actually supposed to be doing it like this. See how much quieter everything got? You do it in stealth, this way. And that's stealth. You hit control and you'll crouch down. And you'll stay crouched. Then you hit control again. And you come out of it. What that does is it makes all your actions quieter. Now, the tree falling wasn't quiet, but me chopping the tree down was quiet. Anything that I do while I'm crouched down like that is quiet. So it's less likely to draw a zombie's attention. You know what? I never did get to play Dying Light. I wanted to play that one and I missed out on it. It looked like fun. And here's what we're going to do. Because we always want to have trees to chop down, right? Go plant a tree. Plant a tree for your tomorrow. And let's check these nests. Is it? Yeah, it did look like it was. Like I wanted to get that one and I forgot why. I just never got the chance to get around to it. Okay, how much wood do we have? My goodness, I'm only seeing 181 just makes me want to cry. All right, all that work. I chopped down a whole tree and I've got 181 wood. Now you may ask, what can we do to make that better? Well, remember those perk points I talked about? Let's start spending them. First and foremost, like I said, we want to be able to have a forge. We want to be able to make things, right? Right. So the first thing we want to be able to do is to make a forge. But the things that we need to craft with the forge right now, we don't necessarily need a forge right now. What I need right now is something more along the lines of this. See, we're out there harvesting wood right now, and ore and blocks and everything else. Let's increase that harvest by 20%, shall we? And then this is going to allow me to do more damage. It also unlocks all iron tools like pickaxes. Now, what does that mean? Let's type it in and see. Iron. There's everything we can make with iron. The iron tools it was referring to is the iron pickaxe, the iron shovel. See, now this needs forged iron and leather. So that means anything needing forged iron needs a forge. So even though I can make those items, that's very good. Oh yeah, I definitely can. I'm gonna upgrade that bad boy in just a second. You know what? I should probably do it now. That's stage 1. Okay. The next stage is metal. Okay. That was a good idea. Here's what we're gonna do right now. Here's a basic shovel. You can make all the stuff from stone. Now, that little perk that I took, Miner 69er, this governs making axes, picks, shovels, chainsaws, and augers. When I take a point in this, this upgrades the quality of my item. So see how everything says 1? If you notice when I picked the other one, it said 2. Now, as I go up, I get the ability to make quality 3, quality 4, all the way up to quality 5. So that's why it's good to invest a little bit of pointage in these types of things, because it helps you to make better items. It even helps us to make a better let's see, this is a pickaxe. I can't make that just yet. Well, I can, but we don't have that. But look at this. It's a better stone axe. We'll scrap this. I now have a rank 2 stone axe. Let's get all the other rank 2 tools. Get a shovel. Now we got a shovel. Let's see what else. I can't make pickaxes or axes or axe equivalents right now. So we're kind of stuck when it comes to that, unfortunately. All right, meanwhile, I can make pipe weapons with my pipes. We're going to make a pipe rifle, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make that now. Let me see if I have enough stuff to make it. Just enough. We're gonna make a pipe rifle, baby. This is new. They just added these in the in this newest alpha, in Alpha 20. Used to be the only thing that you could make as an early weapon was a blunderbuss. It was the most worthless weapon in the world. It took 200 years to reload, and it could only hold 1 bullet at a time. So yeah, people used to take, and how I have my spikes here, people used to have like 6 blunderbusses loaded up already, so that all they had to do is just take a shot because they took so long to reload. So they alleviated that, and we're going to use this later when we go hunting. All right, you too, man. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. You have a good day. Awesome. All right, so that's going to be our first weapon, but we don't have any bullets, and we don't really have any way to make bullets right now, so we're going to put that back in here. And as you can see, my lamp is providing some pretty good light for us. Thank goodness. So we're going to get back to fixing this place up. And I know it is dark in here, isn't it? What do we say we light the place up a bit? Remember that torch? You take that torch and place it there. And guess what? We can make torches. Now, some bad news about torches. Torches attract zombies. So, 1 might not be a problem. But if I put a couple of more, we might start having issue. So you can see how dark it is out here. So seeing as how we don't want that, we're gonna do this. And we need cobblestone for that? Okay, I didn't think so. So let's finish locking up our windows. All right, we should be good. All right, so remember how we talked about claim blocks? Now we've got loot. Let's check our loot. Oh, nice. Now these bad boys right here are called knuckle wraps. This is for if you want a box. So you usually start with these. And these look like this. This is one of my favorite melees. Javelins is what I'm working with now, but I was a boxer before I was working with javelins. And unfortunately, you have to get up close and personal, and you have to do some kiting with this, but the perks that come along with boxing, when you get them all maxed out, it is overpowered. Now, the bad news is that it's overpowered in the beginning and overpowered outside of Horde Night. During Horde Night, yeah, you try and jump down there and do that with those zombies will bend you over and do all sorts of naughty things to you that you do not want. So we'll go ahead and I hear visitors. Let me go out here and show you how these fists work. And we also have to be careful because remember, at night, zombies sprint. So say I'm a boxer, right? I hear an eruption. I have to go out and defend my spot. I see her. See her? Let me catch her attention. So you stagger with a punch, then you move in, you stagger again, then you strong punch them. It is an ebb and flow to it, and when they did this game, like, it was so cool how they've actually looked into doing little things like that. So yeah, boxing does have an ebb and flow to it. It's definitely pop, strong. But yeah, if you take the time to get with it, boxing is one of the better ones. That was not what I wanted to do. There we go. That's better. All right, so this is a problem here. Because see, this is gonna give them access to my second level, and I don't want them to have that. And trust me, there will be more zombies tonight. So, we're gonna dismantle this quietly. Meanwhile, we're gonna keep our ears open because it is nighttime and zombies do like to move about at night. Hopefully we won't get any lumberjacks running over from the snow area. So pretty much this is the game. What you guys see right now, this is it. This is it. So as you can see, I'm just breaking stuff down. And I was really hoping I was going to be able to build up a base for you guys, but we are starting to get towards that later hour. And we definitely want to be moving on by about 8 o'clock. So, what I really want to do like a Spice Girl is show you guys what a Horde night looks like. We are going to do that. So, let me get everything set up. This is our pretty house. Let me not duck anymore. All right, so let me get everything set up. We're gonna put this in here because we are going to continue to work on this house. So our claim block that we had, take that bad boy out, pick a spot for it. And let's lay claim to this as our house. Activate it. Now, if you ever want to see how big your claim block is, you hit E while you have it selected and click Show Bounds. Then you can walk outside and you see this big old, you see the greenness? That's how far out your claim block goes. All that is within this green boundary is all yours. So this also means that zombies will not spawn in this radius. So, and this goes all the way up, even though you can see this little part right here, it goes all the way up and all the way down. So, unfortunately, we're not gonna get to see what's all the way down this time around, but first of all, we got holes in our floor. Do something about that. They were treasure, but they're not anymore. And unfortunately, because I'm going to take this place over, or because I've taken this place over, treasure does not... we leveled up. Treasure does not respawn. So it's okay to go ahead and destroy these because the treasure's never going to come back in them. All right. So this is the beginning of our house. And if I want to turn off my boundaries, I just hide my bounds again. So this is the beginning of our house. You ask, how are we going to make it to that second floor? Well, I'm very glad you asked that question. Because what we're going to do is this. We can make ladders. Told you, man. This game will get you. So now we're building. We got ladder. And see, my ladders, as long as they're connected to each other, they can be like that. But they can only go down so far before, of course, you know, they're not going to have anything to support them. So now with my ladder, I can now jump up and go check out my second floor. Now, normally there's a zombie up here. Oh, and look, I got supplies, food, everything, a big wide open freaking window. Do something about that. And that's only for now. I usually have these windows all nice and opened up, but since we're just getting started here, not so much right now. So, like I said, I wanted you guys to be able to see a Horde night. So, hold on just a moment while I get that ready for you. We're gonna jump out and check our options. And we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna continue our game. And what we're going to do is go back to our basics. We're gonna turn our blood moon on to 7 days so that we get a nice, good blood moon. That's 0. Our warning is that morning. Here's what we're going to do. Because there's only going to be one of me. Well, you know what? Because I have what I have at my disposal, we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave this at sprint. So you guys get to see what the full throttle is. All right. That's that. We'll stick with 8 enemies just because I don't want this to, the more enemies you have spawn, the more it's going to tax the computer. So we don't want this stream to suddenly just go into the toilet. So we're going to leave that at 8 enemies. That's what the game recommends. That's what we're going to stick with. Loot respawn time, bam, bam, bam. What we want now is our days. Gonna break that down to 10. All right, so now we should be on our way to a blood moon. So what we'll do is, since we got our house, I'll go ahead and I'll continue with the house. But what I'm going to do is, because I really do want to show you guys this blood moon, I'm going to go down to a little area that I normally like to use as my base when I play solo, and we'll take refuge there, and that's where we'll have our Horde night. Just to show you guys what it looks like. Now I could get really badly creative here and just totally cheat and show you guys some crazy things. And cheating, I mean like build some stuff faster than I would normally be able to, because that's what I'm gonna have to do in order to make this work. So now normally, and we're probably gonna have zombies that come through here since time is moving much faster. Let's go ahead. Let's turn this on. Now this is our house. We're gonna go run down here and we're gonna go get our base ready since we're already on day 2. You may even see that we've got some creatures out. Ah, that is a wolf. No, that's a dire wolf. Did you guys see the glow in his eyes? Like when I come around, you'll see it. Now he can't get me up here, but you see how his eyes are glowing? See that? That means that something is feral. So zombies' eyes will glow like that too when they're feral. So that just means that that wolf is a dire wolf. And no, I didn't just turn around to the same thing. That actually is 2 different wolves. There's one there. And there's one here. Here's where we're going to take refuge. This is my nice little spot. It's morning, it's morning, it's morning, it's morning. All right. She can see me now. So here's what we would have normally done if we would have seen a wolf. Step inside, miss. I don't want you destroying the base before it's time. All right. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're gonna go in and we're gonna clear out this zombie because there is a sleeper here. Hey, buddy. Long time no see. And you can't close the doors on him and force him to have to fight through the door. So you can use all kinds of stuff in this. Like that's what happens when they drop loot. What loot did he drop? Oh, check it out. All right, so this is what this is. This right here is, these are iron crossbow bolts. So this is for your crossbow. These are cool. This is red tea. So this helps us with when we get thirsty. You can drink that, and then it also gives you the buff of, it also gives you stamina regen, and then it gives you efficient digestion. And you get those for 4 minutes. And what those do is, efficient digestion is like having leaky gut for a little bit. it gives you the 15% little bonus to now whenever you do something or are working or what have you, it takes 15% less from your food and from your health. Your stamina regen will also regenerate 15% faster. So, Hunter's Journal. These nice little books help you do damage to all the other stuff in the game. We want that. So we got a Hunter's Journal. As you can see, we've got 2 friends, 3 friends, many friends. They all have come to play. All right, let's go school them real fast before we get set up at the base. He's moving a bit faster. He's a strong one. Put him down. There's an airdrop. And see? That's what an airdrop looks like. So if I were willing to run all the way over there and go get that, we could, but we want to see that Horde night instead. So here's what we're going to do, because I'm totally going to bootleg this for you all. All right. First and foremost, we are going to need weaponry. And see, it'll just fall down to the ground till it hits the ground. Okay, so we're on day 2. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's get creative here. I want... Now, if we were in the engineering tree, we will actually be able to do some of these, but SMG, I'm in the wrong thing. Oh, looks like the fog is rolling in. There are weather effects in this game. Props, other, cloth, steel, concrete, brick, wood, basic. I don't want any of this. I just need you to give me all parts. There we go. We're gonna take a few of these submachine gun auto turrets. So let's set these up. All right. Now I have no idea why these are hovering. So it's probably because of the way that these blocks are sat. Like, these are probably half blocks. And so even though they're half blocks, they still take up the full space of a block. So we're gonna need these here. Let's see. I hope we don't lose this tower, but there's a big chance that we might. But it's okay. All right. Now you may say that I'm putting way too many of these here. You'll find out why I'm doing this and why I would dare to put this one. See, and that's the weather telling me that I'm cold already. But we don't have to worry about that. All right. Since we are crafting and we're building a base right now, let's bring our dev tools out. Let's see. So suddenly now I cannot find my... Oh, okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, turn those on. There we go. Now these are all of our different items. This is what a chainsaw looks like. So we would actually get to see a chainsaw. We're going to take out these items here. Let's see. Axe. Prop helpers. How come it's just not giving me the tools? I have no idea why it just wouldn't give me the tools. I have the dead blocks on. Just give me all items. There we go. There's our dev tools. So pretty much all these dev tools, if it's purple like this, these things pretty much are just super powered. Each one will tell you what they do. The hammer I like to take because the hammer kills things in one hit. This is the pimp mining helmet. Which mining helmet with integrated light source and 100 heat and cold resist. So you put this on, this is what helps you get through heat and cold. This is shades of plus 200 looting. Put this on when you want to take your loot score. So this would be like having lucky looter. Put these bad boys on when you want to take your loot all the way up to the top. This is just 100. These are rocket boots. These increase your jump. And then this stops bleeding damage. This is like a band-aid, but it's an eternal band-aid. Super wrench. Wrench harvests just about anything with one swing. Replaces single blocks or all blocks of the same type by copying a source block. So that's just like copying. This is a digging weapon. If you want to dig holes, you use this. This is an instant death pistol. This is all I really need for now. So we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna put this here. We should be on day 3. And it sucks because these are what solar panels look like. I'm gonna show you how overpowered this weapon is. Yeah. Anything else you want to say to me, puppy? Now, normally what we would have did was we normally would have killed him anyway. But then what you take and do is you do this. And see, that breaks down into 35 meat, 3 animal fat, 12 leather. That's how you get leather. You kill animals. And then of course bone. And all this is used to make foods, which you have to learn. All these are locked. You automatically know charred meat, but all the rest of these you can learn, and you learn them either with recipes or via Master Chef. Oh, looks like I got 3 points. So we're definitely going to be able to add those to the mix. So let's get back to work, shall we? Now, I don't even think that I'm going to need these. I really don't, given the fact that I can just literally go into God mode and I don't really have to fight these guys. So let me get this together really fast. And then, because it's almost like I kind of want to show you guys a little something like how, well, normally you would have stuff like this and submachine gun turrets to help defend you and everything else for when the zombies come. But due to the fact that I have God mode, I don't need any of that. So it makes no purpose to build these. And so we can actually just wait for the time to go by. And I guess I wanted to show you guys like a regular Horde night, like what you would normally do. Like you would find yourself a spot, or you would build yourself a Horde base. So you would actually build a base like how I was building up all the guns and stuff like that. And then your guns fire, and I guess I could build them up. It's only day 3. I guess I could put them back and show you what something like that would even look like, to at least pretend that I'm not going into God mode. All right, let's do some more. So those are my dev tools. To all the hit points. So I put this on and I have hit points like none other. And that is 2 supply crates. I think I had it set to drop 1 every day, but that's a supply crate. We might go out there and look and see what's in them, but we're going to get these turrets and everything set up first. So you guys are going to see me moving really fast as I do that to get the submachine gun turrets. And these are things that you can actually learn to build, but normally you have your submachine gun turrets for base defense. And we're actually going to put you here, buddy. Yeah. So then that one can cover that one, that can cover that one, that one covers that one. Okay. So you're probably thinking, what in the world are we going to use to power all this stuff? I'm very glad you asked that question. First, let me make sure that everything is running at the correct speed. All right, we're going to get rid of that. Alrighty. Now we're going to leave this like this, and then let me go ahead and, so I can at least have the chat up, so I can see you guys if you're chatting. Meanwhile, I am cold. I need to find shelter. Not true. Could have let the game just going. All right, let's see. We have, let's see. All right, there we go. Gotta make sure that that's there so I can see you guys. and make sure that if anyone is chatting, I can chat back with you. All right. And then we may have to leave that as that. Alrighty. Okay, we're back at it. So how will we add power to all these things? Well, let me show you. First though, we need to get some blocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to get iron blocks. Actually, no, we want steel blocks. Here we are. We're gonna take steel cubes. The reason why we want these is because these are the strongest blocks in the game. So what we want is to make this, actually, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need it. These half blocks are getting on my nerves. All right, so that would be halfway here, halfway in, halfway out. Okay, so yeah, it is this ceiling. So this ceiling is all half blocks, so I picked the wrong spot for this. It's okay though. It's all right, because I'm not rebuilding this. But here's what we would do. Let's put our, there we go, that's what I wanted to do. I want you to be here. And I need you to go. I need you to go. I need you to be here. And I need you to be here. He can't be there because that's in the way. Be here. All right, now we are going to need a battery bank. So we would normally have a battery bank. And now let's use battery. And we're gonna wait until we get rank 6. And now we've got batteries. So what we would do is we're gonna take a battery bank. Now what I could do is I could also do this. Normally you would have a battery bank to back this up, but what we have is a generator. There we go. So you get a generator bank, right? And make sure not to get the quest ones because those are something that are completely different. Let's see, it's day 3. All right, so we're gonna take our generator, replace that. We're gonna put our generator down here instead. So with the generator, we've got motors. Actually, we need engines. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2. And then what I'm also gonna do is, because I don't need any of this stuff at this point in time, we're gonna get rid of all of it. It's pointless to me, it's useless to me, since we're doing all of this right now. Well, I'll keep that. I won't need that. Won't need that for now. Won't need that. Won't need that. Won't need that. Or that. Or any of this. Won't need bones. I'm not gonna need these battery banks, but I'm gonna keep them anyway, just in case. Not gonna need that, not gonna need that, not gonna need that, or this, or that. Alright, now we need engines. Probably gonna get another airdrop. We wanna fill up our engines. Bam. Now that we have engines, we would also need gasoline. And I know it is dark as all get out here. How will we fix that? Well, Let's conjure up a lantern, shall we? Which this is buildable. So, lanterns function as a light source. So I'll put one down, bam, I now have a light source. Now we can see. Now, what we want to do is we want to get a wire tool. So we're gonna wire. Gonna grab this. And then what we want to do is this is our power source. From the power source to the submachine gun. From the power source to the submachine gun. From the power source, since they do need power, to the submachine gun. Power source. Submachine gun. Power source. Submachine gun. Power source. Submachine gun. Power source. Submachine gun. Now, that's what that'll look like. So now we need submachine gun bullets, which they use 9mm bullets. So let's see what we got. Oops. Let's just put in bullets. Bullet. All right, let's take... Can it take these? Armor piercers. If not, we'll find out. So now what we need to do is we need to get gas. So let's trigger some gasoline. Not grass, gas-o-line. Just put in gas. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna take 2 of those because opening up one gives me 1,000 gas. There we go. Now we can refuel. That fills our gas all the way up to max. Then we take our guns here. We open up 3. We jump in to interact with them. Oh wow! So they can't take armor piercing rounds. Good to know. So your submachine guns cannot take armor piercing rounds. So these are all useless. A whole lot of things that I just didn't know, or either they've changed it. All right, what day are we on? Day 4. All right, so now I'm gonna have to go get some regular bullets then. Bullet. So we're gonna want 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, so we're gonna open this up. Let's put in 300. Put in 300. I'll have to fly out there and go look at that. All right, well, let me give it power. So now you go into your camera preview, and I can now set my camera up so now my gun will always know where to shoot. We want to lock our ammo so it's armed. And now we want to open. All right. We want to lock our ammo. And we want you, since you're covering this, we want you cover all this. If it walks, you shoot it. All right. As for you, bam, bam. Looks like we might catch a suspect. All right. All right. Now check this out. See, they don't play that. They asked her nicely once. She didn't want to stop. It was her own funeral. All right. And we actually want to bring this. Okay, that's being watched by you. So this means that you need to watch this area here. That's where we're going to put you. Your ammo is locked. Want to bring you down more to here. Lock your ammo. And we want to bring you out to here, so that you can look down too. Then open, open, open. All right. And then our last guy. Open it up. Right. Bring our camera view here. But this guy could take care of this. All right. So we've got something that looks like some sort of defense. Right? Right. All right. So that makes the yellow light go away because we put away our tool. I don't need these anymore. We don't need the batteries anymore. But I would have put them into a battery bank otherwise. All right. So we should be good with this. See, these guys aren't taking up a whole lot of power. So that's just fine. So we are now at day 4. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go ahead and we're going to jump out. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and let this day go. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump out. And we'll just make the Horde night happen at night. And then we'll let our time go. And then we'll be happy and ready to go for the next night. Get some armor. And this is what I normally wear, is the steel stuff. There we we go. Get us some rank 6. Since rank 6 is the top rank. So all that stuff we started out with, all gone now. I think I got boots already. Okay, there we go. Oh, those are iron. Okay. All right, we have steel gloves, steel. We need a steel chest. All right, let's get ourselves all hooked up, and then we will get this Horde night going. There we are. All right, so go ahead and let this day go by, and then when we hit time, grab this rank 6 crossbow. Get rid of all this junk we're not gonna need. Getting a lot of exploding arrows because those are always fun. And then we are going to get we want a tactical assault rifle. And then we want bullets. And we want these right here. All right. Then we want a repair kit. All right, we should be good to go. We're gonna let this time pass. Gonna get rid of all of that. And then when it gets to be about night, I'll go ahead and switch the settings. We'll have us a Horde night. Then we'll fly out there and see what's in those boxes. Here's one other thing we'll do too. Well, darn it, I don't have power to them, and then they'll probably spit at them anyway. I was gonna make searchlights so that you could take searchlights and point them down at the enemies. I like searchlights. Searchlights are cool. Somebody's going for it. I don't even know where it is. My turret shot him up so bad. All right. And now that I've got my own weapons, I don't need these. Ah, there's another airdrop. All right, and what we want is a scope. Actually, give me mods. That's what I need. I need a reflex sight mod. These are all the mods that you can put on your weapon. Well, we unfortunately won't be able to get into all of that because we are almost 3 hours in, and we should have moved on to the movie a long time ago. But I'm gonna let this go ahead and keep on going. And then how I'm gonna have this set up will be just fine, especially because of the mode that I'm in. So it's not really going to be a big deal for us. I just want to be able to show you guys all what this looks like. That's my chat. Now check this out. Zombie down. Now you can see what kind of fun we're going to have on this Horde night. Yeah, don't come around here with that. We don't want any. We don't need any. And that was a wolf. And he was way out here too. I could see him. He was right there. All right, it's almost time. And then we'll go ahead and we'll set this. And we'll be ready to go. All right. Let's go ahead and get it set up. I believe we could take this to, it recommends 60 minutes. We'll keep it 60 minutes just so you guys can see this Horde night. And we will turn on our blood moon frequency. We were on 5 days, 6 days, 5 days. Put this bad boy on 1 day. And now we're ready. So as soon as we come back in, we should be on a blood moon day. So as you guys can see, this game is vast. There's a whole lot that we didn't even get to go through just today. So, but if this is a game that you guys would like to see me play and like get more deeper into, like honestly, like let me know and I'll go ahead and we'll play through it and actually see what this looks like on a real Horde night, and under real circumstances. All right, let's see where we're at. Coming in, shooting at people. Here we are. So let's get our DM together. All right. And this is what we have. all of a sudden the weather turns crazy. And then see how the day is red. So, blood moons normally start at 2200. So I just set it at 20 just so you guys can get like the whole thematic of it. Like, this is what your day does. As night starts to descend, you hear the storm clouds, a storm descends. Everything kind of takes on a little reddish hue. It's really kind of neat. So, and as you can see, the airdrops are gone. So no need to worry about that. And you're going to see zombies coming from miles around. Just in case. Well, I don't have any perks, so like I said, we're going into this completely unprotected. It'll be fun. Hope the sound is not too loud for you guys. It looks like it is. Let me turn that sound down. Breaking people's eardrums and junk. A little bit more. Here comes a little welcoming committee. Very good. Stay down. My turrets don't play that. So yeah, that was a little welcoming committee. You will get one of those. Wandering mobs, they'll come out and they will find you. We're getting closer and closer. The anticipation builds. You saw that and you saw how slow they were moving? It'll be nothing compared to what you're about to see. Get a reflex sight on this bad boy. Alright, we're putting a reflex sight on this. Let's see. Alright, this is for you. Put you on there. And then what else could we get mod wise that you would like? Because I don't think I'm going to need much in the way of a foregrip mod. But I'm going to take it anyway. And then I shouldn't have to worry about a rad remover at this point, but I'm going to take one anyway. Rad removers are for other types of zombies. They are zombies that actually irradiated. All right. We're almost there. Can you see everything turn red? A horrible, horrible fog falls over everything. Let me go ahead and turn my brightness up, or else you guys are not going to be able to see a darn thing. Please don't tell me I'm going to need some searchlights. Though I shouldn't. Alright, we are almost about time. Here's how we're gonna close things out. All right, see. Because the brightness is so low. That couldn't have been it. That couldn't have been it. Oh. 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 I am appalled. I am appalled, but you know what? You also can't see worth a crap because the fog decided to roll in. Man. That was it. I guess it just gave me a day one. Just like, remember how I told you guys earlier day? You guys didn't even get to see nothing. All right, well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call this right here. So you guys got to see the general gist of the game. Like I said, you almost got to see a good major event. Actually, you know what? Skip that. Here's what we're going to do. I got this. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to see this Horde night. I can't believe it just betrayed me that way. So we'll start it at 6 days. We'll bring back our time back to 10 minutes. And then we'll just scoot out right after. And then what I'll take and do is that'll go through that day. This will lead us into the 6th day. I'm going to make some searchlights so we can see. And then we'll be good. We're going to do this. I am so disappointed in that. We didn't get to see anything. Everything was going off. Let's see if I can set this up for us so we can at least go out with a bang. All right, here we are. All right, so here we go. First and foremost, searchlights. I don't need that many. All right, we need one of you here. I need one of you here. Gonna need one of you here. Gonna need one of you here. And one here. So we need one more generator. Okay. All right, you've done enough. Generator. All right, I'm not gonna need these battery banks. All right, let's fill you up. Let's wire you up. All right, put our wire on. You, 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 to you, and you, to you. Now. I see zombies. Okay, why? Oh. The power source has a component. This is the component. Oh. Duh. I was really trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. I'm socking the lights and everything. All right, you, and you. And then we need two more. You're not helping me out now. All right. All right. So everything should be on. All right, we're gonna let our time run down here. Though I know this is not turning red. All right, everybody. You know what I think happened? Because I had it set for that one day, now it's gonna be a whole 2 days. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna set it back for that one day. So that way it won't wait 6 days. It'll give it 1 day. And then I hate having to do it this way. We don't even get to see it the natural way. But at least you guys will get to see a little piece of Horde night. I may go ahead and turn off my turrets too, so then that way you can actually see the mobs move in, because if this is just going to be a second one, then if all right, come on. You're gonna make me give up on this. All right, first and foremost, we'll turn these on if we need them. So pretty much what we do, turn that bad boy off. I mean, that was so low rent. That was so low rent. Ah, hey, buddy. Yes, please reload. Stop resisting. All right, we're looking at our time. This time we got plenty of lights. So speaking of which, take my brightness back down. So right at 21, I'll go ahead and I'll take the time off. I'm almost tempted to kind of leave it like this just to see what it does. If it would just dump a whole bunch of zombies on me. We are going to do, there they are, you see them? Now that's what you call a wandering mob. So if I don't make a noise, they won't ever see me. I'm gonna make more than a noise though. That's right, my friend. Don't run from me. Sir, I'm about to ask you to stop resisting me. See, so that was a nice little welcoming party. And we actually got to see them in the light. So we're gonna wait for this to hit 2100 and then we'll go ahead and we'll crank down this speed on this time here. Alright, we're almost there. And as you can see, we've actually got light this time around. Alright. Let's get it set up. Let's put this back to 60 minutes. Advanced. We're gonna jack this all the way up to the top. Hopefully this is not gonna crash everything, but this is deserved after what that last one just did. After what that last one just did, this is what we're going out as. So everybody get ready. All right. We're ready for this. We're ready for this. Let's get our DM on. We've got all our lights. So see, we don't have any fog and anything this time around. Plus I got lights all over the darn place. That's in case we need to use those. I doubt we will. Load it up. And so we should see a pretty good little mob come running in here. All right. Get us ready. All right, come on. Right. Getting ready to move. I wanted to see this so bad. I don't even have my chat up. So if anybody is chatting, I do apologize because I can't see it. I had to turn these, I turned these settings all the way up. Here we go. Here they come. See how fast they are? And see, I'm behind a fence. So I could shoot them through this fence, but they can't get to me. So you got to at least see it this time. Now on a normal Horde night, it's a truckload more than just that. And they come from all directions. They'll start from this direction maybe. Then they would have switched and come from this direction. Then they would have switched it up and came from this direction. Then they would have switched it up and came from this direction. So as I said, if you have one Horde night a night, like that's what you get. You get just a little spattering of, you know, zombie. So I'm not going to stretch this out any longer than we need to. That is 7 Days to Die, everybody. It is an awesome game. I like to play it. I would have shown you guys what some online play looked like, but I'm afraid it probably would have cratered the game and it would have been very slow. So maybe in the future, like I said, if you guys like this game and liked what you saw and you would like to see more of it, let me know and we could go ahead and make this a thing. But this is just part 1 of the subscriber special. We'll be moving on to part 2 right after this. So 7 Days to Die is going to go ahead and sign out. And for those who are checking into this but not checking into the next thing, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 1 subscriber who came through. I don't have my chat up right now, man, but I really appreciate it. And thank you very much for coming through. And let's go ahead and let's bring this to a close as the storm clouds rage overhead. This has been 7 Days to Die. I'm Paiper Zombie, and I'll catch you out here in the darkness.